You never know where you're gonna find a farm these days.
It might be on a city street.
It might be in a box, or it might just be in the house next door. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let me take you where the food comes from. I come out here every week and promise to tell you where the food comes from. That's always gonna involve a farm. That will never change. But sometimes our definition of a farm has to expand. Lead the way.
It's a measurable that we use to understand how much product we are, let's say, throwing away.
Right.
Okay. I can tell you that because of all these techniques and growing methods that we use, it's less than 1%.
Oh my word, I think a lot of our dirt farmers just probably had might need to see a doctor at this point, from 42% to 1%.
Yeah, less than 1%.
This looks like just a lovely suburban Tampa Bay home, and it is. But it's also headquarters and the farm of the Cactus Hat Mushroom Company. That started with some horse feed and cattle feed and oats and wood pellets.
Correct. It's amazing, ain't it? And here's the thing about those ingredients. Those are agricultural waste products. There's no use for them. The shell of the soybean hulls, they pelletize it. The sawdust at the mills, they pelletize it. You put those together and add water at 60%, and you can grow food. And then in the end, this is compost, so it's usable again to grow more food. It's bonkers. It's the epitome of the sustainability movement.
And this is the farm?
This is the farm.
Is this all of the farm?
This is all the farm.
Inside of our containers, we are completely climate controlled. We control temperature, humidity, CO2, light levels, irrigation. We control absolutely everything that's going on in this farm.
If you ask any farmer why they do what they do, and I have asked thousands, the answer is always going to be, I want to feed people. I'm here to feed people. That's my calling, that's my mission, that's my purpose. Now they gotta make a living, sure, everybody does, but they want to feed everybody, including the people who slip through the cracks. Single moms who are trying to stretch food dollars, working families who have hit hard times. They want to feed everybody. Farmers across America are working with a wonderful organization called Feeding America to try to make sure everybody gets fed. Why does a farmer want to get involved with something like this? Why not just plow it all back under? It's going to go into nourishing the ground, but why get involved?
Yeah, I mean, it just gives an opportunity to give back. And the Smiths here in Hastings, Florida, of real Christian background, and always, want to help people as much as they can.
Feed my sheep.
There you go.
How could that much be left in a commercial field after it's been harvested not once, but 3 times? And this is all food that otherwise would have just been plowed back into the earth.
Over 40% of everything grown in America never makes it to market.
See what happens, and then we will go this way and...
Oh, hey, you might wonder what I'm doing dressed like a mad scientist in a laboratory. People don't really understand the connection between agriculture and science, research and farming. To put it in simple terms, this is where people who dress like this help out people who dress like this. Come on, let me take you where the food comes from.
Here in our molecular lab, we're looking for specific genes that we know are present, and we have molecular markers that are nearby those genes. So without making any genetic modification, we're able to go in and determine which plants carry that gene and which plants do not.
This is what people call cross-pollination. So we usually take this, flower, and then we extract the pollen in our fingernails.
Look at that.
We remove the male parts of the flower. So basically we touch the pistil with the pollen of the male pollen here.
then that develops into a blueberry. And then we extract the seeds out of there, and those will be the product, basically the progeny, the kids of the cross of these two individuals right here.
It doesn't matter where the food comes from if you can't get it from there to where it needs to go. But connecting the dots in between at every step along the way is transportation and logistics. Stuff's got to move, people, including us. Come on, let me take you where the food comes from.
See that air? See that cold air? Probably 33 to 34 degrees in here, and you need that for your fruit. And we keep that temperature. You can hear the fans going. You need continuous air flowing throughout this place.
And that's all part of the cold chain. This starts at the farm. Shortly after stuff is harvested, it goes under cold.
Yes, you're selling something that's dying every day. So you got to get that through the pipeline as cold as possible for some of these fruits.
We could follow this crop here northward for another 6 months all the way to Michigan, come back and roll around and start over again in Florida. We'd never run out of stories to tell. It's going to be different every year, but they're going to keep rolling it that way. It's almost like somebody planned it by design out here where the food comes from.